Hello everyone and welcome to this amazing video. In this video, we are going to walk you through those essential steps that you should take in order to have a very successful commercial farm. Whether you are starting out newly as a beginner or you want to expand that your small scale farm into a commercial farm, proper planning is key. And in this video, we are going to be looking at all the essential steps that you need to put into consideration before you set up a successful commercial farm. In order to establish a commercial farm, you have to define your goal. You need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it because you want to make profit? Or is it because you want to provide food security? Or is it because you want to supply a specific market at your location? These are questions you must ask yourself. Once you've been able to define the reason why you want to establish a commercial farm, then you are ready to move to step two. The second step you have to take is to begin your research, market research, and also crop research. Market research in the sense that you want to know what is in demand in your area so that you can go cultivate. A couple of commercial farmers make this mistake. They begin to cultivate before truly understanding the demands of their market. So you want to firstly ensure that you make a visibility study of the market demand at your field location. So once you understand this dynamics, you understand what the market needs, then you go ahead to produce it. In also wanting to produce that, you also want to now make research on the type of climate you have at your field location. You also want to understand your soil properties. All these are very key activities that you must carry out before you begin to establish your commercial farm. After you've been able to make your research in terms of choosing the crop to cultivate, after you've gone to the market to find out what is in demand at that field location, you want to secure that land and also prepare the land. In securing the land, you want to ensure that you are getting a land that is not under dispute. Okay, you are getting a land without any form of dispute. You are getting a land that is free from any form of troubles. Also, you want to ensure that you carry out proper soil testing on that your land. Okay, the mistake a couple of you make is that you just go get a land without really understanding the chemical, physical, biological properties of your soil. By understanding all of these properties, you then stand a better chance of providing the soil with the right amendment in places or in areas where it is not adequately available. After you've been able to secure your land, you've been able to carry out the necessary soil analysis on that land. The next thing you want to do is you want to have a proper farm planning. Farm planning basically entails the different activities that you are going to be carrying out in order to execute or cultivate the specific crop that you have chosen already. So farm planning will help you to really put into consideration all aspects. It will help you to understand all the pre-planting operations that you have to carry out, helps you to understand all the planting operation you have to carry out, and it also helps you to understand all the post-planting operations that you have to carry out in order to have a successful field at the end of the day. When you have a very successful farm planning, you will definitely have a successful field at the end of the day. After you've been able to have a proper farm planning, the next thing you want to do, and you want to do right, is you want to secure your funding. Never make the mistake of going into your commercial field operations without really having the money to fund that particular operation all the way from the pre-planting operation down to the post-planting operation. How do I mean? A couple of you go into a project without really having all the money you need. You might not physically have this money, but just know that this money has to be available somewhere. The capital for your project has to be available somewhere that you can easily access when you need them. A couple of you go into projects with assumption. You already carried out your pre-planting operation. You've invested money in pre-planting operation, also invested money in planting operation of this your commercial farm. Then it then gets to the very important aspect, which is the post-planting operation, which then involves the management of the field. You are now saying you don't have money to run this aspect of the operation. Mind you, if any of these aspect, if any of these phases of operation is not properly done right, you would get a bad result at the end of the day, and that will be bad for business. So you want to make sure that all the funding that you need for this project is secured, and you are not working based on assumption. You are working based on fact and what is available. This aspect I'm going to be talking about now is very, very critical to having a very successful commercial farm at the end of the day. You want to ensure that you have the right team members working hand in hand with you in order to bring that your vision into reality. If you do not have the right team members, irrespective of how much you would have invested, you would make a mess of your commercial farm project. You want to make sure that you are bringing in experts with track record, okay, who have gone through the phases that you are about starting. You want to make sure that you have them on board to guide you and to ensure that you do not make the mistake that they once made. Okay, so once you have this kind of people around you during your early stages, you would definitely skate through all the hurdles that could possibly pull you down. The next thing you want to ensure you do is also you want to ensure you are not cutting corners. Don't cut corners when it comes to input. Make sure you are getting quality input for each of your commercial field project, because the quality of the input you get and put into the soil is the quality of the yield you get at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you only are cultivating quality input, so that you are the end of the day are harvesting quality produce that would have comparative advantages over other produce from other farms or location. So this is basically what you have to ensure that you put in place in order to have a very successful commercial farm or a very successful commercial field project. After you've been able to execute, you've cultivated, the next thing you want to ensure you do is you want to not just stop at planting. You want to ensure that you move into the market. Mind you, the first thing you did was to make market research to determine the crop you are going to be growing at your field location. After you have cultivated, you want to spring into action and begin to secure those deals. Begin to secure off-takers who would come pick up your produce. Don't wait until it is time for harvesting before you begin to make all those moves. Begin to make your market strategy. If need be, you just need to have someone separate a marketer whose main job is to ensure that he secures market for your farm produce. Then make sure you are doing that. Secure as much deals as you can, so that when you begin to harvest, you are no longer looking for buyers. You are taking them to the market to be sold, or you are having your off-takers come to your field to off-take your produce. The oga patapata of everything after you've been able to do all of this thing is your ability to now monitor your project, evaluate your project, and then try to have a little bit of adjustment here and there. Adjustment in the sense that you might have a certain plan when you are starting. Plans change, okay, based on demand and all of that. So you have all those adjustments, but then your ability to be able to monitor your field project, would determine if you are going to be profitable at the end of the day. You have to keep on evaluating every of the processes. You have to evaluate your workers, have to evaluate your team members, you have to evaluate the field, you have to also evaluate all of your market strategies to ensure that all of these would lead to one thing at the end of the day, would lead to you making a lot of profit at the end of the day. You want to ensure that you are up and doing, you are up and running in order to have a profitable and successful field at the end of the day. If you haven't subscribed to this channel just yet, then you are wrong. We need you to punch on that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and do well to give this video a big thumb up. See you in our next video. Peace.